So in this segment, we will start with the third type of nitrogenous waste, which needs to be eliminated, that is uric acid. So such elimination of uric acid is known as uricotelism. So in this uricotelism, the nitrogenous waste, as you can see here, is uric acid, and the organism which excrete uric acid are known as uricotelic. So now how this uric acid is formed? So the formation of uric acid is actually a very complex process, and it requires a large amount of energy. So here you can see it is a complex process and it requires more ATP, that is energy, and it is produced from ammonia. So it requires more ATP as compared to ammonia getting converted into urea, and it is produced from ammonia in the liver, and also in some cases in the kidney. So maximum production of uric acid is from ammonia takes place in the liver and some in the kidney. So highly expensive process. This process of formation of uric acid. This is a highly expensive process as ATP requirement is more. So it is also a complex process, and most of the uric acid which is being formed from ammonia, that formation takes place in the liver, but small quantities of uric acid is also produced in the kidney. So now what is the advantage of spending uh, so much of energy and undergoing such a complex process? So here you can see the advantages. The advantages are that uric acid is less toxic than even urea. And so if we are talking of the toxicity level, maximum toxic was ammonia. So as soon as it was formed in ammonotelic organisms, it was removed. So if this could not be removed, then it has to be converted into something less toxic. That was done by ureotelic organisms. So what the ureotelic organisms did, they converted ammonia into a less toxic substance, that is urea. Here, ammonia is converted into least toxic substance, that is uric acid. So out of all the three nitrogenous waste materials, uric acid is the least toxic, even less as compared to urea. Then how much can uric acid can be dissolved in water? So it is almost insoluble in water. And the amount of water which is required to eliminate 1 gram of uric acid is only 10 ml. So if you are able to recall the earlier lectures, to eliminate 1 gram of ammonia, the water requirement was 300 to 500 ml. That is almost half a liter. Then to eliminate 1 gram of urea, it was about 50 ml. And to eliminate 1 gram of uric acid now in this lecture, that is uricotelism, it is only 10 milliliters of water. So it is very less. It is very, very less. So that is advantages here. They are, number one, it is less toxic, and it can be stored in the body for a longer period of time without any ill effect because it is not at all toxic, and it requires very less quantity of water for its elimination. It is almost insoluble in water. So these are the advantages of excretion of uric acid. So now in certain organisms, what happens? We already said it is a uric acid production. It takes place in the liver and kidney. When uric acid is produced in the kidney actually can eliminate on any nitrogenous waste, but only in solution form. It cannot eliminate nitrogenous waste in solid form. It can only eliminate any nitrogenous waste in only solution form. But as we said, it is that is uric acid is almost insoluble. That means it is excreted out in the form of solid crystals. But kidney actually handles only solution. So then how that solution is converted into solid material, solid matter. So what happens is, especially in birds and reptiles, dilute solution of uric acid is sent from kidney to the cloaca. Why? Because in the kidney, the uric acid which has to be eliminated must be in the solution form. In cloaca, what happens? All the water gets absorbed. Here you can see birds and reptiles. What they does, they this dilute solution of uric acid, they send it from the kidney to cloaca, where the water gets absorbed. So in the cloaca, all the water gets absorbed, and what remains is the only solid crystals of uric acid. So that is why many a times what happens when we see the droppings of birds or the excretory materials of lizards, we find there is something whitish along with the regular fecal matter. And the fecal matter color can be black, brown, or greenish, but there is something white also along with that. So the colored part of the fecal matter is undigested food material, and the white part is solid uric crystals. This solid crystals of uric is the uric acid is the white part, which gets excreted along with the fecal matter. So birds droppings are also known as guano. Last point you can see here, birds droppings are also known as guano. So now from the birds dropping, what happens? This uric acid is extracted, is separated, and is used on a commercial scale. Most of the birds, what happens when they excrete their waste, there are two components. That is, one is undigested food, which is the fecal matter, and along with it there is solid uric acid. And this uric acid is always white. It is always white, which is why we normally see with the birds droppings or with the fecal matters of lizards a white material. So now let's talk about the examples of uricotelic organisms, the organisms in which uric acid is excreted. So here are the examples. In this we have included insects, some crustaceans, land snails, reptiles like snakes, lizards, and birds. So these are the main important uricotelic organisms. So now what has happened, that is ammonia, which is produced by deamination of amino acid, either it's get eliminated as ammonia in ammonotelic organisms, or it is converted into urea in ureotelic organisms. And in uricotelic organisms, what happens? It is converted into uric acid. It is very simple. And what happens? Uric acid formation is a very complex process and highly energy dependent process. So uric acid formation, we have already discussed that. So most of the uric acid formation takes place in the liver, but some are also formed in the kidney. But since kidney can only handle nitrogenous waste in the solution form, so in the case of birds and reptiles, what happens? The dilute solution of uric acid which is formed is transferred to cloaca from the kidney. Where in the cloaca, what happens? All the water gets absorbed and only the solid uric acid gets eliminated. So the advantages of converting ammonia into uric acid is it is less toxic of all the three nitrogenous waste. It is almost insoluble in water, so it can be excreted as a solid material, and water required to eliminate 1 gram of uric acid is very very less, which is hardly 10 ml of water as compared to uh, as compared to the water which is required to eliminate the other types of nitrogenous waste, that is ammonia and urea. So These are the examples, important examples of uricotelic organisms. And this is very important, and this guano is very important because from birds droppings the uric acid which is used on a commercial scale is extracted, and these droppings of fecal matter, they have undigested food plus uric acid. And the cloaca, you can see here the cloaca is actually the common structure which receives the secretory or the excretory materials from all the three systems, like digestive system, excretory, and reproductive system. From the reproductive system, what happens, whatever is released, that is the gametes, they would come out of the cloaca or cloacal aperture. And in the case of digestive system, the undigested food from the digestive system, they will also come out through the same structure, that is cloacal aperture. And from the excretory system, what happens? The nitrogenous waste, they come out of the cloaca. And that is why these organisms are able to excrete undigested food and uric acid crystals together. So these are the three main important nitrogenous waste materials we have discussed so far, and this is how we classify them.